What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of the Profitable Chiro Network. What I want to talk about today is how to get energy naturally without a cup of coffee, without your caffeine. But I got a huge disclaimer. I actually love caffeine and I love coffee. And I drink both every single day, but that's not the point of this episode. I often see people wreck their bodies when they're pumping caffeine into it all day long. And we know caffeine triggers a stress response in the system, which can actually drain our energy. I'm gonna talk about 3 things you can do to boost your energy naturally. And we'll talk about a bonus fourth because you know I can't leave it out. Number 1, the cold plunge. One of the things that I try to do almost every day without fail is on my lunch break between shifts of seeing clients in the office, I will jump in the ice bath for 1 to 3 minutes, depending on the temperature that it is. And for some reason, it seems to reset my brain. Now, there are a couple explanations for this. One is that because you're flooding your body with stress hormones, that adrenaline, that norepinephrine, and that cortisol actually wake up the system. But some people would argue, as I would, that long-term it can actually cause you to crash. There's a whole bunch of other things that happen when you start to wake up your system with the cold plunge too. One of those is it requires you this laser-like focus. If you're wondering what the research says about the science of a cold plunge, there's some really cool landmark studies that have been done. One of them is by a guy named Janský. This is out of the European Journal of Applied Physiology, and this is all the way back in 1996. So we've known for a long time that cold ice bath, cold exposure can actually increase and boost your energy. And here's what they found in this study. It's really cool. Is that they found that whole body water immersion found a 530% increase in noradrenaline and 250% increase in dopamine. So what this means is that dopamine and noradrenaline are going to actually allow you to focus your attention and to be motivated to get something done. So we're actually boosting that immediately. The catch to this, though, is that doing it one time isn't necessarily going to get you the extended benefit. Doing it over and over and over and over again, over time, over weeks and months, is actually going to allow you the benefit that's going to be sustained for longer when you do it each day. Number 2, one of my favorite things to do is NSDR. It's called non-sleep deep rest. Non-sleep deep rest is kind of like a meditation. And what it does is it gets your body into an optimal state to feel like you've rested or slept without actually doing it. And all you're doing is focusing your attention on certain parts of your body. If you're interested in learning it, Andrew Huberman has a ton of them on YouTube and on Spotify. They're all for free. Go check them out. He'll walk you through the exact process that he rolls people through. It takes 10 minutes, one of the best things ever. So what does the research say about NSDR? Well, here it is. In 2024, in the Applied Psychology Health and Wellbeing Journal, they compared NSDR to people who didn't, and what they found is better grip strength, better physical readiness, and improved cognitive task therapy. So when we talk about cognitive tasks, we're specifically talking about thinking. And so doing 10 minutes of NSDR increases our ability to think. It increases our physical strength in our body. Grip strength is one indicator of longevity and health and well-being in the first place. And so it's undisputed that NSDR as a meditative technique or as a technique to boost energy in the later half of the day is one of the things that I would highly, highly, highly recommend you check out. The next one, shocker, is going to be eating clean. Now, we know that what we fuel our body with is what our body is going to produce in terms of output. And one of the things that I saw even back when I was teaching, before I really knew about the body and the physiology of sugar and how it affects the system, is that the students that I would teach in the classroom, they would come eating Pop-Tarts in the morning. And then they would wonder by second period, they would have lower energy, they would be exhausted, they would be grumpy and moody, and that would carry through until lunch. And then the period after lunch, they would feel this dip again. And part of it's because they weren't eating clean food. So their body would get these huge spikes in sugar, and then they would crash. And the crash is what allowed them to be exhausted. And so one of the things that's really, really simple is just at every meal, make sure you're focusing on quality protein, because protein is going to allow your body to digest more slowly. And when you digest more slowly, you don't peak your blood sugar. Therefore, you're not going to have the crash. Eating clean is literally a cheat code to you having more energy throughout the day. Sometimes it's about what you don't do, not what you do. So avoiding the junk food is super important. Speaking of avoiding things, here's why I avoid caffeine or try to in the afternoon. What we know about the stress response and what we know about caffeine is it boosts cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. One of the things that cortisol does is it actually shrinks cells of the prefrontal cortex, meaning it can actually negatively affect our thinking. But the other thing that cortisol does, or cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine in the stress response, is our body starts to burn more energy for fight or flight or protection. And if we're burning energy for protection, we're not using energy to build up our systems. And so one of the things that's key in avoiding caffeine is that one, it's going to allow us to sleep better at the end of the day, but it's going to keep our bodies more in a build-up state or a hypertrophic state versus a state of atrophy or a state of breakdown. And so the more we can prime our body to be in a state of build-up, the less energy we're going to use for breakdown. A simple example would be to think about a sporting event of any kind, soccer, basketball, football, it doesn't matter. In any sport, you cannot be on offense and defense at the same time. Your body works the exact same way. We can't be in fight or flight or stress and in build up or rest and digest at the same time. So if we actively avoid things that are going to put our body in fight or flight, what we put into our systems, what will allow or what will create is an environment internally where our body's actually building itself up. And the bonus, number 4, brain-based chiropractic care. Literally a cheat code through all the research that we see. Time and time again, it is proven is that specific movement of the joints of your spine at a specific speed affects the frontal cortex of your brain, increases cognitive processing speed, increases the ability of your muscles to have stronger contractions, and overall is going to give you more boosts and more energy throughout the day so that you can crush it in every phase of your life. That is why here inside of Nexus Family Chiropractic, we live by the 4 Ps: posture, presence, productivity, and profit. Every time you get adjusted, we're increasing your body's ability to have good, strong posture because that comes and is housed in the frontal cortex of the brain, which then therefore increases your ability to be present in the moment and get things done, which leads you to more productivity. And lastly, and arguably most importantly, it's profit. Yes, we can help people make more money by affecting the brain and waking up the brain and making that part of the brain stronger. But what we're really talking about when we talk about profit is profiting and enjoying life experiences full out. Next time you're looking for more energy, instead of going to Starbucks to get the coffee or going to the gas station to get the energy drink, why don't you try a quick little bout of NSDR? Try to hop in a cold plunge. Try to just focus on what you're eating and put quality protein into your body and avoid that junk food. And lastly, go get your body adjusted, wake up that brain, and watch how your life transforms. We'll come at you next week. Peace.